What is going on, everyone? AP over here at Ron Beer Sports, bringing to you the Stroke Game Show like we do each and every week. I got my two guys in here. We got Snyder. We got Locks. We also got an awesome event to break down, one of my favorites. This is the WGC Match Play event. If you're new, you're going to want to get a notepad out. I got my trusty banker notepad, Snyder. You remember this guy? We had a lot of fun this weekend. Me playing banker for the card game, which was a ton of fun. Locks, you're going to have to participate next year. One of the nights we went I think 3:30 in the morning. JSU just pounding drinks. Like DC, 3 o'clock in the morning, DC is a fun DC. I'll just say that. But I digress. Let me just kick it over to you guys real quick because, this show usually goes a little bit longer than an hour. Snyder, how's it going, my man? How are you feeling about this week?
Yeah, it's good. It was good seeing you guys last weekend or whatever day it is. I'm kind of still in the fog there. But, looking forward to this event. I really love this event. I think there's a big edge if you can construct your lineups properly. We're going to go over through that, dive into it. I think it'll be interesting here. I think the live departure may put a hurting on some of these mid-tier guys that we used to go to. Some of the guys that I used to like to target in match play are no longer playing in this event. So it'll be interesting. I'm kind of interested to kind of pick you guys' brain if you think more studs will advance than usual. As usual, kind of some of those studs don't usually the biggest name of the 16 pods usually don't make it through their pod, but maybe this year we see more bigger names make it through. I'm kind of curious to see what you guys have to say about that.
No, on a year-over-year basis, things can change. I get the live narrative and everything, but look, when you look at the live guys and what they're doing, not many of them are winning over there. Right? We're seeing random dudes win. I think they're very unmotivated. Outside of
even
DJ
trying,
nice
yeah.
Who knows? But Locks, let's kick it over to you, my man. How are you doing this week?
Yeah, doing okay. Absolutely. Definitely missed you guys. Definitely have to partake next year for sure. Big T already told me it's the same weekend every year, so I got to mark it down on the calendar. Definitely missed you, Uncle T. I see you in chat. I'll just shout you out there. But, yeah, doing well. Ready to dive into this interesting format. I think we got an edge kind of over a lot of people on how we're going to play this from what I can tell. So just interested to dive in, see what you guys have to say, and see where you guys are going different from me.
Yeah, very good. We're going to do a couple things. We'll get into that very soon. I'm going to briefly overview strategy. I think the strategy is very simple, but if you're new, you're going to want to understand what you have to do. Snyder going to give us a brief course overview as well. And then my last note is hopefully we can continue to have that house that we got at the party because that place was perfect, absolutely perfect.
Nice.
I don't think we're banned. Maybe, but we took care of the place. It was an absolute.
We cleaned it
palace.
up well.
Yeah, good stuff. I snuck out a little early. I didn't have to clean, but hopefully, Snyder, you picked up my slack.
Definitely.
There. But Snyder, give us a course overview real quick.
Yeah, this week we're at Austin Country Club here, which is a Pete Dye par 71 that's going to measure 7,108 yards. This track is going to feature average size greens here at right around 5,500 square feet or so. The POA greens are going to be rolling at around 12 on the stent meter. Austin Country Club is also going to present some narrow fairways here, right around 25 yards in average width there. It's going to be kind of tougher to hit these fairways. Seven holes are going to have water in play here. 110 bunkers are going to layer the property. And the Bermuda grass rough is only going to be playing at around 2 inches in height, so not too big of an issue there with the rough there. And as we kind of hit on here, we have a unique format here, a match play format event. Each golfer is going to play against 3 opponents in their pod for the first 3 days, and then one golfer is going to advance into the knockout stage, a round of 16. The key is to create rules to properly get your guys. You want to allow your rosters to get all 6 of your guys to the Elite 8, and then through to the Final 4. Max 1 golfer per pod, and then max 1 golfer per round of 16. Last year, we seen it right around 30% of dead lineups right after lock hit. So we generally need to build our lineups more better than that. This track also presents a lot of risk-reward opportunities, which is great for this match play format, I think. I love this track. Love the format here. Don't think the track really favors any one specific skill type here, but some some of the key stats we'll be looking at here: strokes gained approach, proximity 175 to 200, match play history, birdies or better percentage around the green, and putting. A hot putter can take you a long ways here in some of these match play situations.
Yeah, very good. I think the dead money will be less and less as the years go on here. I recall talking to my mom. If you know me, my mom loves to play PGA DFS. And when she sent me her lineups at this event last year, I just had to laugh at her. I'd be like, you didn't read the content. You didn't watch the show. Love you, Mom. Not trying to dog on you too much. But here's how I broke it down to her. I break everything out into regions. So for me, we got the Scheffler region, the Cantlay region, Rahm region, Rory region. You can also print out a bracket. Ideally, you want three golfers from one side, 3 from the other side. Taking it a step further, you want 1 golfer from each region. So that's a high-level overview of the strategy. If you pick, and then the last and most important thing, too, is you don't want 2 golfers from the same group. So make sure those rules are all in play. We'll hit it. We'll talk about more of that in Discord as well. Let's dive in. Here's how we're going to do it this week. We're going to go group by group, starting with the Scotty Scheffler region and the Scotty Scheffler group. We are each going to talk about who we like to come out of each group. And once we finish that, we're going to talk about our final 4 and then pick our winners. Snyder, I'm going to start with you. We are at the Scheffler group. We got Tom Kim, Alex Noren, Davis Riley, Scotty Scheffler. What are you doing with this group?
Yeah, I like Scotty the Kid up here quite a bit here. He plays great on this course. He kind of this was one of the courses that they played in college there. The University of Texas plays here at Austin CC. I like Scotty here. He's finished second and then won this event last year. 11-2-2 is his match play record. I don't think Tom Kim's playing enough to really put much of a threat to him there. Alex Noren would be the guy I would be worried the most about in this group here. He's 21-9 in match play, but I think Scotty the Kid gets it done here. And then, do you just want me to talk about these 4 guys or
just those 4? Who do you got winning? You got Scheffler coming out of this group.
3.
Here's why we're doing it this way, Snyder. I'm taking notes too. You guys should all be taking notes. I'm taking notes. That's how we find the winners. I'm not worried about Alex Noren. I get what you're saying. Match play is always a beast. It is like a you versus the other guy. Some people can handle it. Some can't. One of my good buddies, realtor now, played college golf. He was a match play specialist, like just phenomenal at it. Wasn't good at all the other events. So really just, that's why I lean on guys that do good at match play events. I load up on them here. But Locks, let's kick it over to you. What are you doing with the Scheffler group?
Yeah, match play is definitely interesting, and just coming from actually playing golf as well as it's awesome for the people like Fitzpatrick, say, guy had a 9 last week. Well, that hole doesn't freaking matter in match play. He played well the rest of the round, probably could have still won a match play match. So that's where things are different. You got to look for guys that have that freaking just power to go out and get you 9-10 birdies at any given day. So it's definitely an edge here. I think the easy one in this first region we're looking at, it's Scotty Scheffler. I think that's just the obvious choice. I don't really see anyone contending with him there. If I were to say anybody contending with him in that group, it'd be Davis Riley, I think. He's just been playing really well lately. I know Alex Noren's got a good record, but I just haven't seen it yet this year. So no matter where I look at it, it's going to be Scotty Scheffler out of this one for me.
Yeah, some of these groups that we talk about are going to take longer. Some are going to be pretty quick. For me, this is a quick one. I think Scotty and we'll get to Rory, but I think Scotty and Rory have the easiest groups for kind of the number 1 seed, if you want to look at it that way. Scotty's just going to power through these guys. In my opinion, he's like an absolute lock to come out of the group stage up top. Let's keep it going. Let's go down to Sung J M, Tommy Fleetwood, JT Poston, Matt McNeely. Locks, I'm going to go back to you. Who do you have coming out? Who do you like in this event and or this group, and who do you have coming out of it?
Yeah, looking in this group, I'm going to stick with a guy I've been playing the past couple of weeks, and it's Tommy Fleetwood, baby. The guy, he looks good. He looked good again. Didn't really finish for me last week, but I had him in my one and done. I'll take a third place. I'm okay with that. He's been looking really good, and he's going into the Masters here in a couple weeks. He always plays good there. So this is a good time of year for him. He's hitting the ball well. I like him coming out of this group over these 3 other guys.
Yeah, very good. Snyder, kick it over to you. What are you doing with this group? Who do you have coming out of it? And do you so like a DFS related question to you also to think about with Scheffler, in my opinion, up top. Like, I mean, do you have any of these guys in your pool? Like, do you think anyone from this group can take down Scotty Scheffler, assuming that he gets through to the round of 16?
I think everybody here, especially some of these lower tier guys, will be pretty big dogs against Scheffler. I already crossed off Sungjae. I'm not going to have him in the pool. I will have a little bit of Fleetwood in my pool, probably around what he is ownership wise. I think he'll be like right around 15%. I do think I may sprinkle in one of Poston or McNeely. Maverick came back last week, played better last week. He can get the hot putter rolling. I think he's a fine guy. And then Poston, if I'm looking to punt at 6'3", I think he's interesting. I think both of those guys will probably be right around 5% ownership, I think is what I'm seeing. Yeah. Poston's probably going to be even lower than that. So I think Mav, he battled back stronger last week. I had the putter going 36 last week, 60th before that. So his game's kind of trending upward there, but I don't think either of these guys really have a chance to make the quarter. So I'll be underweight on all these guys.
Yeah, very good. Locks, I am with you here. I think I like Tommy Fleetwood. You got to like how he's playing right now. Coming off a T3 at the Valspar. Like, one thing in match play events, I really like guys that are riding a hot putter. I mean, there's 2 schools of thought. Think about Corey Connors last year, had a phenomenal week. Ball striker, absolute ball striker, can struggle with the putting at times, but he had it going that week. I will lean on ball strikers at times. It really just depends on how I'm feeling about them. The other types are informed putters, guys that their flat stick is starting to come alive, and then also they're around the green game. So I mean, those are the boxes that Tommy Fleetwood is checking. He's the one guy I'm a little worried about that could contend with Scheffler. However, I'm MMEing this week. I'm big on taking stands. I'm big on trying to get my player pool as tight as I can. Look at our guy Harry, Birdie Monster on DraftKings. He won the 200K last year. I looked it up. He had 27 golfers in his player pool, 150 lineups. Big T, our boy, he had a monster week. I think he won 115K. He had 28 golfers in his player pool. So for me, it's a combination of rules, get a tight player pool, take stands, and eliminate kind of this fluff. The 5% of guys here, like a Tommy Fleetwood, whatever. Like, if you don't have a conviction on him and you really think Scotty is going to, advance like I think, he is, here's what I'm doing. I'm literally crossing out everyone in this group because I just don't feel any of them can beat Scheffler. Now, again, I think the guy I'm worried about most is Tommy Fleetwood. But maybe him comes out. Maybe Poston comes out. Maybe Mav McNeely comes out. If those guys are battling Scheffler, I feel pretty good about where I stand with Scotty Scheffler. So I think Fleetwood comes out, but I'm not high on anyone else there. Let's go down to Morikawa group. Morikawa, Jason Day, Svensson, Victor, Perez, Snyder. We got to start with you, with your boy, Colin Morikawa.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting price tag for him there. He was all right in this event. He got through the group stage last year. I think he's a guy, if he can get that putter rolling, I mean, we know the approach game is going to be there. He's going to be knocking everything to 8 to 10 feet pretty much all week, which can get a guy down in a match play. If he's hitting everything so close, gets a couple of those to drop, that can really demoralize the morale of his opponents there if they're constantly 15-foot trying to make those 15-footers to even tie him. So interested in Colin Morikawa there in MME. Jason Day, I thought he was going to be more popular, but it doesn't look like he's going to really be as high owned as I thought he was going to be. I thought he'd be a guy in that 15 to 20% ownership range, but I'm seeing him right around 10%. So I could see myself, if I need another 9K guy, I just don't know if I can fit him into my player pool. So it's probably just going to be one of those two. So I would choose Morikawa over Day, but Day's been solid match play record. He was really good back in the day, back when he was in his prime. He's only 1-7 his last 8 match play events, which is kind of a downside there. But he's playing much better this year. He's playing absolutely flawless golf this year. Morikawa's been hit or miss, 13th, a 6th, and a 3rd with 2 missed cuts. Day's been really consistent this year, pretty much inside the top 10 or top 20 in every event. So I think a lot more people, maybe when the cards get turned over, I wouldn't be surprised if Day is higher owned than I'm seeing right now. I'm going to pick Morikawa out of this pod, but a cheapie that I could go to, a cheapie that I could go to would be Victor Perez. He's kind of a guy I'm kind of worried about in this range. He's a good value, I think. He finished 4th in this event in 2021, made his last cut. I think he's a guy that could get dangerous here. Good off the tee player. He can get the putter rolling as well. So I think Victor Perez would be a pretty good sub 7K guy. I'm going to have it action to in my MME pool.
Yeah, back in the day, what was it? Back in the day, an informed day is the J day that we want. There's a lot of days right there in that sentence.
I know.
Locks, let's go to you. Collin Morikawa, Day, Svensson, Perez. Who do you have coming out of this group?
Yeah, this one for me, I'm crossing off 2 names for sure. I'm not playing Svensson. I'm not playing Perez. I think it's Day or Morikawa. My favorite play in this group of 4 here is Jason Day. I love Jason Day here. Yeah, like Snyder talked about, back in his prime, he was a beast in match play. Well, he's back into that form. So I say watch out for Jay Day here. I think he's going to be kind of scary in this match play format. And Morikawa doesn't really have a great singles record in all of his match plays. I think he's like 2-2-3 or something. Not many to go from, but I mean, not a great record in a singles. He's not really a match play guy in my opinion. So I'd rather go Jay Day here. I think he's clearly my favorite to advance out of here. And I think he's got a chance in this region, I think.
Yeah,
there's one more thing I wanted to mention, kind of overview type deal. The prize pool here this year, it's $20 million elevated event. If you make it out of your pod, I believe you're making $360,000, which is a big number for some of these guys. So I think that's kind of interesting to note. I think that's definitely going to get more of these guys' attention, more so if they're down a couple holes. Maybe some of these bigger names try a little harder maybe, or I don't know if that's anything. But I think the winner's going to be taking away like $3.5 million. But it's going to be a huge payday if you can get to the round of to the quarterfinals, I believe, and then the semis are going to be close to $1 million, I think.
I mean, any time we talk about that, I flip it the other way too. It's added pressure. So
yeah, true.
The guys that are the studs, they got a lot of cheese in their pocket. They're not going to have as much pressure. Speaking of pressure, I mean, how demoralizing is it going to be when Jason Day, informed Jason Day, is out there draining 20-footers when Collin Morikawa is sitting there shaking, with these 10-foot putts. And the ball striking isn't going to help your boy this week. Snyder, the ball striking is not going to help him. I got Day coming out of this. Go ahead, Locks.
I say you got to be able to putt and match play.
I got Day. Here's what I'm talking about, too, because I think this is very important. Like, Scotty is so dominant right now. He fears no one. I think he goes to the quarters. I think he goes to the semis. Like, I feel very confident about that. I can be wrong. I mean, anything can happen in this format. But you got to think about how is the other group, like who else in this group really has a chance. In my opinion, Victor Perez doesn't. I don't think he has that much of a chance. The guy I think he could contend or at least meet Scheffler. And if I had Day, I don't know if I'm going to have any Day Scheffler lineups, but Day is the guy that I think could take down Scotty Scheffler. He won this in 2016. The guy is in form right now. Everything about his game looks really good. So for me, I'm crossing out Morikawa, Svensson, Perez. I got Day coming out of this group. Let's go down to Victor Hovland, Chris Kirk, Siwoo Kim, Matt Kuchar. Locks, I'm going to go back to you. Who do you have winning this group?
Yeah, for me in this one, I think I'm going different than a lot of people are going to go here. If I have them in my pool at all, this is another 4, like we were talking about strategy-wise earlier, that I might even be okay Xing out just because I might have Day going past these guys anyway. So it might be a cross-out for me. If I'm playing anybody here, though, I think it is Victor Hovland. I just think he's the most talent in this spot here. Yeah, Matt Kuchar's pretty good in singles, match play stuff, but I just think Hovland's too good. So if anybody's coming out of here, it's probably Hovland. But I think no matter what, these 4 are losing in the next round. In my opinion, that's just how I see this region or this little quadrant here.
Yeah, very good. Snyder, kick it over to you. Victor Hovland group in the Scheffler region. Who do you have? What are you doing with this group?
Yeah, I like Matt Kuchar in this pod quite a bit here. He's a really good match play player. 35, 18, and 5. He's made through his pod the last 3 times he's played this event. He's actually been to the semis a couple times in his last two showings here, 3rd, 2nd, and 9th. I think Kuchar is a guy that I really like here. He's not going to be too scared or anything like that. I think Hovland's short game could hurt him here. Not too worried about Chris Kirky or Siwoo Kim here in this event. I think Matt Kuchar is going to roll over these guys and make it through to the round of 16 for the 4th straight year in this event.
Yeah, I agree with you. Matt Kuchar is just an absolute beast in this format. 35 wins, 18 losses, 5 ties in match play. The guy is just phenomenal record, knows how to grind. He's another guy that can make clutch putts too with that short game. So here's all right. So I'm crossing out Hovland. I'm crossing out Siwoo Kim. Matt Kuchar is the guy I like. I have a little bit of interest in Chris Kirky. He's our boy. I think he could come out. But what I'm doing with this region is like my player pool in this region literally could be Scotty Scheffler, cross out the next group down, Jason Day, Matt Kuchar. So there's going to be groups where I open it up a little bit, but I feel a ton of conviction with this group up top. I feel like there's a high probability of kind of those guys dominating. And so that's where I'm at with this group. I think Kuchar could definitely win this group or see Scotty Scheffler in the quarterfinals. Now, can you have Scheffler and Kuchar in the same lineup? I think you can. I don't have those two like that. I'm definitely going to have some of those 2 lineups. It's okay, I think. What do you guys have an opinion on that?
Yeah, personally, I think you can. I don't think I'm going to. Personally, I'm not going to have Scheffler if I'm talking about this. I think I'm the only one that's not going to have Scheffler coming out of this. I'm going to have Fleetwood going past him. So we'll talk about that later as we dive in.
I like it. I got some big upsets. Don't worry. I'm not a full chalk donkey this week. I promise you that. Let's keep it going though. Go ahead, Locks.
I was gonna say I got a little Fleetwood Day action.
I like it, man. I'm on board with that. The other thing too is I always set like my top end guy around 70%. So like that might be Scheffler, but maybe in those lineups I'll get Tommy Fleetwood with you. Let's keep it going. Let's go down to the Cantlay region. Let's start at the top of that region with the Max Homa group. That's Max Homa, Hideki, Kisner, and Snyder, I'll kick it off to you. What are you doing with this group?
Yeah, it looks like Max Homa is going to be one of the more popular guys in this field, probably like 15 to 20% owned. I actually don't mind him in this. He's one of those guys, kind of like a Kevin Kisner type that can just grind. He's one of those guys that this ain't no hobby type guy that can get out there and grind. He's playing elite golf right now. I haven't been playing him that much. I didn't play him much down in Florida. I played him on the West Coast for sure. I think I might jump on some Max Homa here if I can make it fit. I like the pot he's in. Not worried at all about Hideki or Justin Suh right now. And the guy I am kind of worried about, the guy that has just some elite course history, elite match play history.
Kind of worried about? I mean, do you have his record up in front of you, Snyder?
I do. Have you seen him swing a golf club, though, in the last 2 months?
To me, it doesn't matter. Like, literally, I could care less. It doesn't matter. I don't care how bad a form he is. The guy is a stud in this. I'm gonna have
both in the pool.
Tell the people what's his record. What's my guy Kisner's record?
22, 7, and 2.
Very good.
I got 22, 7, and 2. But yeah, he's just been absolutely elite in this format. He's finished in the top 2, 3 of the last 4 years. But the recent form of him is just absolutely terrible.
I got 27, 7, and 2. So
okay,
did you guys both say a different number?
I got 22, 7, and 2.
So I'm including Ryder Cups, President's Cups,
Yeah.
all match play events, not just the WGC.
Correct. Yeah, I'll have both in the pool. I'll probably have. I don't see Kisner getting too much ownership. Like his poor form is actually keeping him down. I'm seeing him right around 7
give
to
me
10%.
all the coups. Give me all the coups.
I'll definitely have around 15% of him in MME though, for sure. At least 15%.
I like it. Let's get to use Locks. The Homa group in the Cantlay region. What are you doing with this group?
Oh, I don't know if you guys want to hear it after Snyder, but I think I'm going almost complete opposite. I'm going to cross out Kisner. I'm not playing him at all, I don't think. Yeah, he's got a great match play record, but man, he has looked horrible swinging a golf club lately. I'm not going there. I think there's other golfers that are better. I think Hideki is going to be my boy out of this quadrant here. I'm going to play a little Hideki Matsuyama. I'm not feeling Justin Suh and Max Homa. A lot of people are going to go to Max Homa. I think they see him kind of coming out of this spot here, but I'm not going to get onto it. I'll pass on that ownership that I'm kind of seeing here on him. Where are you seeing him? So I'm thinking like 20% is what I'm seeing. Is that about right?
For Homa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing Homa. I'm just kind of cross-referencing a few places. Right around 20%, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to fade that ownership there. I think I'm going to go Hideki coming out of these 4 here. I'm going to cross the other 3 off personally.
I mean, this is what, this is why this is fun. We're all allowed to have different takes. In this event, it's just, my preference. I highly weight, match play history, and I underweight all those other stuff. When you just look at what Kisner can do, the clutch putts that he can make just to absolutely get whoever he's playing in shambles. I mean, it makes him a beast. He's tough. The one thing I am doing, I'm fading Max Homa. So I think I agree with Locks there. But I'm also, again, I'm crossing a lot of people off. But on the other side of this bracket, I do open up a little bit. But I'm crossing off Hideki. I'm crossing off Homa and Suh. I'm going very overweight on Kisner. I just think he's such a beast in this format. The record is incredible. When you go back and look, he's never really been in that good of form coming into this event. Think about the Open Championship. He crushes there too. He's never in form going into that. The dude just is good at these certain events each and every year. I want the field to be low on him. Give me all the 5% Kisner. He's going to be my dark horse that gets it going, gets him an easy win over Suh and Hideki, and then let him battle with Max Homa there. But I think Kisner is my guy in this region. Let's keep it going, though. Let's go down to the Spieth group. Spieth, Shane Lowry, Montgomery, Hughes. Snyder, I'm going to keep it with you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be crossing off Spieth here at 10-2. I'd just rather play other guys at that price range. I think there's guys cheaper than him, too, that are better plays, in my opinion. So I'm going to cross off Spieth. I'm going to cross off Lowry. He's got a horrible match play record. And then there's a couple values down here in this range that I'm going to be sprinkled into lineups. I think Taylor Montgomery is got the game to compete in match play here. If that putter, he's an absolute one of the best putters on tour. If that putter gets hot, he's going to be sinking all these putts and just hurting these guys. So I think Taylor Montgomery is a guy that can definitely, if that putter heats up here, I think he's a guy that could even reach the quarters or semis here. So I'm going to be on some Taylor Montgomery at 7,400. I think that's a great price tag. And then Mackenzie Hughes is one of my favorite values on the whole board. 6,100 near min price. He battles strong at these tough courses. Mackenzie Hughes. He's 4-2-1 in match play. He battles at these tough courses really good. He's played a lot of these tough courses really well. So I think he's a guy that's going to battle strong here at 6,100. I'm seeing I closed out my odds sheet. I had his odds up to win this group. It was right around 3-1, but I think Hughes is one of the best value plays on the board here.
No, I can't get on board with Mackenzie Hughes. A guy can putt, I'll give him that, but and yeah, that's about it. Locks, let's go over to you. The Spieth group in the Cantlay region. What are you doing with these guys?
Yeah, for me, I'm the same on Spieth. I just got other guys that I'm going to pay up for there in that spot, so I'm not going to get to him. I wouldn't see him coming out of here anyway. So actually, the guy I'm going to be on, I'm off of Hughes, I'm off of Lowry. I love.
Wait, are you both off Spieth?
Yeah.
All right, very good. We're all going to be different. This is fun. I like it. Keep going. I love it.
Yeah, Spieth looks good. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, he hasn't shown me much here at this event personally. And I think Taylor Montgomery is very interesting here. The putter, the birdie or better percentage, you got to make a lot of birdies in match play, and that's what he does. He putts really well. So I think Taylor Montgomery is coming out of these four. I think it's going to be him versus Hideki, and I think I'm getting a lot of low ownership on those two.
Yeah, I mean, this group for me is kind of tough. Like Shane Lowry just hasn't been good in this format at all. Spieth was the bench play last year and let us down. He was close, just needed to close out on that last match and didn't. I think he gets it done this year. For me, I think this is an easy group for him. I get the Taylor Montgomery like that. That's the one guy I'm worried about. I'm not worried about Lowry. I'm not Snyder. I mean, you may punish me again like you punished me on the course last week. I mean, that back nine was just bad.
Hughes does have better event history here. Mac Hughes does have better event history here than Jordan Spieth.
What'd you say? He's played it like 5 times?
Played it twice. He's gotten 9th and 18th.
I mean, all right, here's why I like Jordan Spieth, though. This dude has been a ball-striking machine, and finally, the putter is coming alive. He's got 5 top 5s. Or no, one was a T6. But, I mean, the guy is right there. Like, he is someone I would not want to play at all. And his history here is not – I mean, it's not too terrible. I mean, it's not good, but it's not too terrible, right? So, and he should know the place. He should – I mean, he should know this place. So, I think Spieth gets out of the group stage. I think he's going to have a really tough battle in that next group, though. I got Kisner. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. If it's Homa, Kisner, or Matsuyama, I mean, that's going to be a tough battle there. But for me, I got Spieth winning this group. I'm crossing Lowry off, and then I'm off the other guys too. I got other values that I really like. I'm really trying to get a concentrated player pool. So that's how I'm playing it. Let's keep it going. I'm going to go back to you, Locks. Sammy Burns group. Sam Burns, Seamus Power, Adam Scott, Adam Hadwin. What are you doing with this group?
Yeah, this one for me, I just think I don't know. I personally think I'm going to cross all 4 of these guys out. That's where I'm kind of leaning. I don't see myself with these guys having a lot of points, a lot of holes won, and I think they're going to lose in the next round anyway. So I'm really going to be – this is going to be a quick one for me. I hate to say it, but I'm going to cross all 4 of these guys out. I don't even think I'm going to play anybody from here.
Having a quick group is definitely fine because we have a lot of groups to get through. Yeah, very good. Snyder, and crossing, can you, if you're running 150, can you cross a group off? Ask our guy Harry, who won this last year. You definitely can. We are fans of having a tighter player pool and taking stands. Snyder, what are you doing with the Sammy Burns group?
Yeah, I think I may be crossing this group out too. I may play some Power. That'd be the only guy I'd play from this range at 7,200. I think I can cross off Burns. I'd rather play a guy basically the same price. It's way better, I think. We'll get to him here in a little while. But, yeah, I'm going to be off Hadwin, off Scott most likely, and I'll probably have Power a little bit as my guy in this range. But I do like Cantlay in the range below.
Am I going to get Sammy Burns low owned? I mean, does no one want to play Sammy Burns? Like
he's going to be around 15, I think 20. He's going to be pretty popular. Yeah, he'll be around 15%. Okay.
I was going to say, I mean, I like Sam Burns here. I like what I saw at the Valspar. He started to round into form at the Players. The putter is hot, and I like that. I think he's withdrawn like two years in a row at this event, so he's going to be a guy. I can't remember why he did. Someone in chat maybe could help us out with that, but keep an eye. Obviously, we'll have plenty of time, too, in the morning, unless you sleep in and don't get up in time. But we'll know if someone withdraws. But I like Sammy Burns here. Adam Scott, I think, is a little intriguing, too. In this format, he's it's not like his record is incredible in match play. He has a ton of experience. I think over 50 matches booked and about a 50-50 record. I think what is it, 25 and 25. Snyder, do you have it up in front of you?
Whose record?
Adam Scott. Okay, 23, 23, and 2 draws. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's more of an experience type of thing with Adam Scott. But I have Sam Birds coming out of this group. Again, I like Kisner over all of these guys. So that's like my one strong take. But I got Sammy Birds coming out. Let's go down to the Cantlay group in the Cantlay region. Snyder, I'm going to keep it with you. Patrick Cantlay, what are you doing, man? I like when you think about Patrick Cantlay's game, how he plays, he should be a beast, absolute beast in this format.
Yeah, this is one of those groups where I have 3 names crossed off, and only Patrick Cantlay is going to be an option for me here. He's made it out of this group the last 4 years. Cantlay I think he's one of those guys that can grind out these match play type events. He's got a pretty good match play record. The game's kind of rounded into form there, a couple top 5s, and then 20th at the Players. I think he's a great option here at 10-7. I'm going to play like Scotty and Cantlay, and those are going to be pretty much the only 2 guys I play over 10K. So I'm going to be planting my flags on Scotty and Cantlay up top this week.
Yeah, very good. I am a fan of that route as well. Locks, let's go to you. Cantlay group in the Cantlay region. What are you doing?
Yeah, we'll keep this one short and sweet too. I'm lockstep with Snyder there. Cantlay only, and I'm moving on.
Yeah, very good. I like Patrick Cantlay, but don't rule out Brian Harman. These putters, man. So, like, there was a stretch last year. Brian Harman tilting them. They've already tilted him this year. Big T's boy. There was a stretch in match. Like, he rattled off like 6 birdies in a row. When this guy gets his putter going, he's dangerous. He's like another dark horse. And you could, like, we got Mikey. Friggin' Mikey. Is that our Mikey or a different Mikey? Let us know, Mikey. But, like, you see weird stuff happen all the time. Like, if Harman got through, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he he got to, like, the Elite 8 or anything like that. I mean, his game translates very well to this format. So I'm with you guys, though. I like Patrick Cantlay. I like Brian Harman to get through. Let's keep it going. Kind of making notes with how it stands between all of us. And so when we get to our final 4, it'll be really interesting. But let's go over to the Rahm region. Locks, I'm going to keep it with you. Let's go with the Rahm group. Now, I feel Rahm, we were talking about this in Discord earlier. I feel he drew the toughest group. Now, our boy Kay Fallick was questioning me on that. But when you look at who is in form, who historically has played really well in match play events, you got Billy Horschel, you got Ricky Fowler, and then you got Keith Mitchell, who's just like playing some really good golf right now. What are you doing with the Rahm group?
Man, I love this group, and I think that you and I are actually going to align on this one because I know where I'm going. My guy committed to it. From what I can see, he hasn't played here, if I'm not mistaken, in this event, but I'm going to go with Ricky Fowler. He has to place well to get into the Masters. He doesn't want to miss the Masters. This guy's back into form. He looks good. I'm going to go with Mr. Flower. Y'all can rip on me if you want, but I'm playing my guy. I think he's
played this event. He's 12-8. He's 12-8-5 in match play formats. But if you go back to when Rick was in form, like playing really well, his record was much better than that.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the last 5 years, I guess, so that's my bad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, last 5 years he's been dust.
Yeah, he hasn't played this event in a while, and he's been dusty. So I just think he's a great match play player. I love him here. A lot of people are going to want to play Rahm just because he's a beast. This group here is loaded. Don't get me wrong, but I just think I'm going Fowler and nobody else. If I were to play anybody else, obviously it'd probably be John Rahm here. But Keith Mitchell and Horschel look good, so this could be a low scoring group here, and it's going to be a tight race, I think, in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you, locked arm in arm. Snyder, I'm really, really curious to see what you're. I think this group is really important to kind of figure out as far as DFS goes. What are you doing with the Rahm group?
Yeah, I'm just going to have some sprinkles of Billy Horschel and Ricky Fowler in this group. I really like a guy below him. I think one of the guys below him is going to absolutely just ascend into pretty much greatness here over the next few months. I'll get into that here in a while, but I like Billy Horschel and Ricky Fowler here. Both have middling price tags, 8-2 and 7-9. I think it's easy to throw them in some builds. Won't be too crazy on them, maybe 10 to 15% or so. I think that's probably, Billy's going to be around 5%, and Flower's going to be under 10% as well, it looks like. So, yeah, I'll probably just be slightly over the field on both of those guys.
So for me in this group, and this goes back to if you think about like the Scheffler region, I'm crossing off a ton of people, and I only have a couple guys in my pool from that region. Here's what I'm getting different. One of my stands is I'm full fading Jon Rahm. It's just I prefer Scheffler. I prefer Rory, which we'll get to. I prefer Cantlay, and I don't want to play all four of kind of the studs. So Rahm is the guy I'm fading, and I have interest in. I have Billy Horschel in my player pool. I think Ricky wins, so I'm there with you, Locks. But I also have Keith Mitchell in my. So I have the most owned player I have is Ricky out of this group, which it's not like a ton. But then it's Billy Horschel and Keith Mitchell. So kind of sprinkles. This is where I'm bringing in the sprinkles, like Snyder talked about. But I got Ricky coming out of this group. I actually did not know the tidbit about the Masters. Nice little motivation there. The other thing about Ricky right now, and we've all been playing him, which is crazy. It's been a while. I don't actually, since the days of RPS have been here, I don't think any of us have really been fans of Ricky Fowler at all. We've been playing him a lot more, and he's been doing really good. He's in form. He's found his game. I think with how hot his putter is right now, with his irons, he ranks in this entire field 8th in strokes gained approach over his last 24 rounds. The guy is in incredible form. I think he's going to be tough, like really tough in this format. And I don't think he's like afraid. Like, I don't think any of these guys are afraid of Rahm. If anything, I think they're going to be extra motivated. Billy Horschel's won this event. And then Keith Mitchell, again, like I said, in really good form. So I think it's a tough region for Rahm. And it's Jon Rahm. He's going to get ownership. He just always is. So like you could make the argument, tough group, maybe lowers his ownership. I'm not seeing that. Maybe I'm wrong there. But so yeah, that's my stand, fading Rahm. I like Ricky to come out of this. Snyder, I'm just going to go back to you, Snyder, because you're leading up to something. We're getting to the Cam Young group right before Rahm. I think we all might be on the same page here. Maybe. Snyder, what are you doing with the Cam Young group?
Yeah, I really like Cam Young here. I think he's got a great price here. He was pretty good in this event last year. There was a couple holes that held him back, but I think he's going to have a great showing here. I think he's going to have a great rest of his career here. He made a huge move. I think it was one of the biggest moves in golf, getting Webb Simpson's caddy on the bag starting this event. I think Webb Simpson had a top 5 caddy in the game on his bag, and he's getting all that and everything that comes with it, experience and all that. It's going to the younger Cam Young. We saw Scotty Scheffler do this last year with Ted Scott, and it definitely extended him. I definitely love Cameron Young here. He's one of my favorite plays on the board here this week at 9,200. Great price tag. He's a guy not afraid of these guys. We've seen him in deep in the majors and such. So Cam Young at 9,200 is one of my top guys here. He can just bomb it off the tee, and if he can get that putter somewhat close to warm,
the putter has to be a concern. Snyder, is it a concern? He's been atrocious with the flat stick.
Yeah, the putter has just been absolutely horrible. But if he can somehow putt to 0, just looking at his stats, he's just nuking everything, tee to green, and then once it gets on the green, it's just an absolute shit show. But maybe that's where Webb's caddy comes in and kind of helps him out there. Well, we'll see. I think Cam Young's going to extend here over the next few months.
Very good. I like that call. I do like that call. Locks, let's go over to you. Cam Young, Straka, Corey Connors, and Thompson. Who do you got coming out of this group?
Yeah, I think we're all going to be in lockstep here as well. It's such a good move by him to get to Soria. I think that's just a huge, absolute huge thing for him. He needs help with the putter. He kind of always has. And when he putts good, the guy's just unstoppable, in my opinion. I said at the beginning of the year, this guy's going to come on at some point. Watch out. He's going to win, and I want to be on him before somebody is. And now he's making another move that's just going to help him. It's going to help him ascend, like Snyder said, and I think it's just going to happen the rest of this year. I don't think it's going to happen this week. I think he is going to come out of this group. Don't get me wrong. But I think he's got big things to come. It's just hard probably the first week with your new guy. So we'll see. I'll give him a little bit of time, a couple weeks here. I think come the Masters and on, look out for Cam Young. I think he's the only one coming out of these four, though.
Yeah, very good. So I like Cam Young. I do worry a little bit more about kind of the changes and the putter a little bit more than you guys. Corey Connors, I'm going to lean on the ball striking. I think Connors comes out of this group. He was awesome in this format last year. I don't like that. Like, the one thing I do like about Cam Young and like why I'm not fading him is just he can overpower a course. And that can be intimidating in this type of format. But Corey Connors, best ball striker in this group. If he gets the putter going, he's going to be really tough. We saw that last year. But I got Connors, and then we had it. My guy Mark in chat, Davis Thompson. I have him in my player pool as I think he's like min priced. So I think he's a min priced guy that I don't like. This group is kind of a toss up for me outside of Cam Young and Connors. So David Thompson maybe a little bit, but Connors is the guy I really like. Let's keep it going. Locks, I'm going to keep it with you. The Tony Finau group, Kurt Kitayama. We got Booz and Who's in there who has never won a match play, match play, battle with someone. So it's kind of interesting. What are you doing with the Finau group?
I think this one's easy. I think it's Finau or pretty much nobody. You can throw in Kitayama if you want, but I think Finau is just a superior talent to all of these guys in his group. I think he mows through this first grouping here. He might have a little bit more troubles in the next round, but I think this one's clear-cut easy for me. I think it's Tony Finau and nobody else.
Yeah, this is the easy one for me. It's Finau. I mean, Kitayama, a little interest in him, but really it's Finau for me. Snyder, maybe you'll be different. The Finau group, is there any hidden gems here between these four golfers?
I'm not really sold on any of these guys. I may have a sprinkle of Finau, but he's priced up there. I think he's just going to be a guy I cross off. I like a guy under him that's priced $900 cheaper that I think so a way better play than Finau. So I'm going to just pretty much be off of all these guys. Maybe I sprinkle in some Adrian Meronk at 6,400 for a value. He's a guy I could see maybe doing a little bit of damage here. He's a guy that has had a couple of decent showings here. He was 45th and 14th in two of his last three events. I think he's an interesting guy. I'll have a little bit of consideration for Meronk in this, but I'm going to be off of Bezuidenhout. He's just horrible in match play. Off Kitayama, and I'll be significantly under Finau, if not fully fading Finau.
Oh, you're fading. See, when I look at Finau, I think this is like the easiest group and side of the bracket that he's had until he gets to like the Rahm or Flower or Billy Ho or Keith Mitchell's, or Cam Young. Until he gets to that point, I think he has like an easy group. So it's like I like Finau here. I like him in DFS formats. Like, I don't love him. At first I was considering just crossing this whole group out, which I think kind of Locks was thinking about doing too. But Finau, he's such a good talent. He has to show us something here. Like, his skill set is too good and his form is pretty decent. So for me, it's Finau. Let's go down to the Will Zalatoris. Now, Snyder, I'm going to start with you with this group. We got Harris English, Andrew Putnam, Ryan Fox, Willie Z. Willie Z is going to be chalk. I was looking at ownership projections. It looks like he's going to be chalk, like 20 to 24%. What are you seeing with Will Zalatoris' projected ownership? And then who do you have winning this group?
Yeah, I'm seeing Zalatoris it's kind of dropped as the days went on. I'm seeing him right around 15% right now at a few different places. I think that's way too low. I think Zalatoris is one of my best plays on the board. I think he's probably the best point per dollar play on the board here at 8.9. He played really well here last year. He's from Texas. And then you look at what he's done recently, it's not good. But that's all from the putter. When he came to Florida, he was putting good everywhere. But then he come to Florida, the two events in Florida, he lost over 10 strokes putting combined in those two events. Now he's getting out of Florida. He's getting away from those Bermuda surfaces, coming back home to Texas, a place that he's more comfortable with. He was fifth here last year. He was fifth here last year when he lost over 3 strokes around the green. So the putter was here for him last year. I really like Zalatoris to come out of this group relatively easily. And I actually think Zalatoris is going to kind of get through this whole bracket side pretty easily. So I'm very high on Zalatoris this week. I would put some consideration in some have a sprinkle of Ryan Fox. I think he's a guy that could come out of this. 7K is a good price tag for him. He's been over on the States playing for the last couple of weeks. So I think he's an interesting option, but I'm going to be off of English and Putnam though.
Yeah, this might be so. When I was doing the playbook earlier and when I was kind of going through things now, thoughts change. They change all the time. We talk to people, we do these shows, and we make adjustments. I had Willie Z as a fade. I'm not so sure I feel confident about that move right now. I'm gonna watch ownership really quickly. It may be something to where I keep him more in line with the field. I'm not 100% sure yet. Locks, maybe you can help me out. What are you doing with the Will Zalatoris group?
Yeah, this one's another one that's easy for me, just like the group we just talked about. I think it's one guy here. Zalatoris just clear cut, easy win here, I think, for him and his grouping. And I see him going past who I got as Finau in the next round too. We'll talk about the rest later on, but that's where I see Zalatoris going. I think just the ball striking and everything's there. I mean, he still looks pretty darn good. The putter's just sort of failing him, but the guy just hits so many greens in regulation. Like Snyder said, he finished 5th here last year. I like him. I think he's the way better talent in this group before. I don't see anybody else beating him other than maybe Ryan Fox. So I'm okay with the Ryan Fox call as well with Snyder. If you get falling on like 16 or around that $7,000 mark, then not a bad guy to land on if you're going to land on somebody, but I won't have him just because I like Willie Z.
So, here's kind of my take here. You got Will Zalatoris, who's like a phenomenal ball striker. Obviously the best talent in this group. You got Harris English and Andrew Putnam, who are arguably like two of the best putters in the entire field. I mean, these guys have been living with the flat stick. If they can stay in it on a ball striking standpoint, get to the green, and now if you just think about it, they're going to have probably longer putts, than Willie Z when they're facing them. Imagine if they start draining these 20-footers, and then you got Willie Z standing over a 9-foot putt, having to make it to tie. I mean, those type of situations make me like Harris English, make me like Andrew Putnam quite a bit here as dark horses to beat Willie Z. I'm really torn. I had Willie Z as a fade. It might be a bad fade right now. I'm going to have to go back and look. I haven't finished my builds yet. I'm going to do that when we get off the show. I might have to change the playbook. I'm really torn. I'm like Ryan Fox is actually the guy I don't like. I'm crossing him off. English and Putnam are the two guys I have interest in, and I have English coming out of this group over Willie Z. But you guys might have changed my opinion on that. I might have to bring because my pool right now is like 30, 31 golfers. I could fit one more guy in, so I might have to bring Willie Z back. What were you going to say, Lux?
The thing that scares me about those guys, and I get the whole thing behind English and Putnam, is they're cheap. They're both just riding such hot putters right now. And it's like, can that sustain, especially in a tough match play thing against Zalatoris, who's just striping the freaking ball, and you're kind of hitting it all over the place, but you're putting well to hang in there. That's what scares me about that. So that's just my 2 cents on those guys. I can see why you're playing them, absolutely, because they're guys that, they make 20-footers on you, and you're like, oh crap.
I also think back to English's win. Do you remember that battle? They played 9 holes.
Yeah.
He was not even hitting it good, but he was just grinding. He would not go away. That's like another thing that kind of factored in for me for Harris English. But let's keep it going.
When you look at their putters, when you look at the putters on those two, Harris English gained about 8 strokes putting and then gained almost 9 strokes putting in those two, in the only 2 events he made the cut on. But when you look at
I like that though. You know what I mean?
Putnam from a standpoint, he's been gaining strokes putting, but his ball striking's been so bad, he's still missing the cut. So I just think Will Zalatoris is like almost a free square. We've seen Zalatoris priced in the 10K range with some of those guys, and he's all the way down in 8-9.
So this is why Willie Z might be a bad fade, and I probably should go correct kind of where I'm standing on that, because we just talked about we don't love the Finau group. And so if Willie Z just rolls through these guys and then he gets an easy matchup, like let's just say Kurt Kitayama comes through or something like that, and then Willie Z, dominates him and then finds himself in the quarters, then I'm dust. I'm absolutely dust. So I think I might bring him back in the pool, and I still have a tight player pool. I might just be in line with the field on him. So that's an okay route to take. I mean, if you go look at a lot of the 150 maxers that play every golfer in the field, they're underweight on every single golfer. So Will Zalatoris, I think I'm changing my stance. I still like English. I still like Putnam a little bit. Ryan Fox is a cross-up for me. Snyder, let's keep it with you. We are in the Rory region. Let's go talk about the Xander group. We got Xander, Hogue, Wise, Davis.
Yeah, I think I've heard some Tom Hoagie talk on social media and some shows and in Discord and stuff. I think he might be a guy that kind of gets steamed up a little bit. He doesn't have the best match play record there, 0-2-1. I think I'm going to cross him off. It's just a guy I can cross off rather easily. I'm going to cross off Cam Davis. Aaron Wise, maybe I have a splash to him. He hasn't been playing the best either, though. I think this might just be a cross-off group for me because I could have some Xander in there, but I just like the guys below Xander a little bit more. I think they have about the same upside. I'd rather play Zalatoris than Xander at the price savings there. It helps you get some other pieces in there as well, and I'm going to run a tight pool here as well, so I think I'm going to be off Xander and really only playing Scotty and Cantlay from that 10K range.
Yeah, very good. Locks, what are you doing with this group?
I'm a little bit lighter on Scheffler, as we were talking about earlier, so that gives me a little bit more room. And Xander's actually one of those guys up there that I do like here. He's decent, got a decent match play record. I think from what I'm seeing, 6-5-3 or something like that. Nothing like too outstanding, but pretty decent for us. And he's just a guy that's a grinder as well. I just don't see these other guys. Wise isn't playing good. Cam Davis hasn't really played good. Hoagie's the only one that I would be a little bit scared of here, but I can see Xander getting past here and actually possibly past the next round too. But there is somebody in the next group that I think can compete with him as well. So as we get down into that, but I think it's Xander here and nobody else in this group for me.
Yeah, so I mean, Xander's such a beast. When you think about his game, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Kind of like his good buddy Patrick Cantlay too. Very, very, very similar. I mean, imagine if we had like a Cantlay and Xander final. I mean, that would be crazy, and I could see it happening. But I have interest in Hoagie too. I think, I mean, man, when you think about his game, good ball striker. If he gets hot, he's going to be really tough. Aaron Wise, for me, easy crosser. Davis, I don't know. He's okay. I think for me, it's Hogue and Xander are the guys in my pool. I'm going to side with you guys. I'm going to advance Xander out of this group. Let's keep it going. Fitzpatrick, Thigala, Minwoo Lee, JJ Spawn. Locks, let's keep it with you. What are you doing with this group?
Yeah, this is another one. I'm kind of narrowing it down here. Probably two guys. This one guy that I like a lot more upside here. Sahith Thigala, man, I just love this dude. I think he's going to be a stud here. I think he's going to be a force in this match play tournament personally. So he's probably my favorite.
Bench flop leg? Workbench flop leg, maybe?
Yeah. We could throw a little flop leg in there. But I like this guy. He can get hot. I don't know. I think he's a great talent. Fitzpatrick hasn't looked great for us. And then just Spawn and Minwoo Lee haven't really shown me a ton. Yeah, Minwoo Lee looked good one of the weeks, but he just crumbled on Sunday. And that takes a toll on you sometimes when you're in that position and just stumble that hard. So I could see that kind of hitting them hard. I just think Thigala comes out of here, and I think he has a chance to upend Xander in the next round as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I hate this group. Like, this is the one of the groups I wanted to cross them all off. I don't like it, but I got to go back to Thigala too, and I have a little interest in Minwoo Lee, just a little interest in him. But outside of that, I don't really like this group. What about you, Snyder? What are you doing with the Fitzpatrick group?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be off of Fitzpatrick here. He's kind of been injured a little bit. He's got to play a ton of golf here if he's going to kind of proceed in this event. So I think I'm going to be off of him. I think he's a guy that could kind of lay back here, just make his appearance, get his 66,000 or whatever you get for showing up here. I'm going to be off Fitzpatrick. I'll be under on Thigala, and I'm going to have a decent amount of Minwoo Lee. I like what I see from him. He's kind of got that swagger we saw at the Players' Championship, finished in 6th. He was 26 at the Honda. He was really good overseas, too, before coming over to the PGA Tour. He had, looks like, about 7 straight top 10s there, and then a 13th at the Hero. I mean, the putter is just absolutely dialed for him. He's a guy that can sink a ton of putts, too. Everything was looking good for him. Ball striking was solid. He did have a couple of bad iron days at the Players, and still he lost over 5 strokes approach, mainly due to, I think, 2 rounds there. And he still finished T6 there. The putter did get hot for him there. The approach was really good, though, at Abu Dhabi and the Hero and a couple other events. So I think Min Woo's a guy that I really like for value at 7,600. I'm going to have him advancing in this group as well.
I like it. I like the bold call there, Snyder. Let's keep it with you. Hatton, Hindley, Herbert, Griffin. What are you doing with this group?
Yeah, this is a pretty easy group for me. I'm going to cross off everybody but Tyrrell Hatton here. Tyrrell Hatton's seen the most odds movement in the boards. He opened the week at 40-1, and he's quickly been bet down to 20-1. I really like the price tag on him, too, at $9K. He's another one of those guys that I'd rather play Hatton over like a Finau or play Hatton over Xander for the price savings. So I'm going to be overweight on Hatton coming into this event. He's another guy that's got a pretty good match play record. He's got a winning record. I think he's been pretty solid at this event too. Yeah, he's finished inside the top 10 3 the last 4 years. So definitely overweight on Hatton. And I'm just crossing out the other three guys in this pod.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think these last 2 groups for me are kind of interesting, which is why I'm leaning on, like, if Kiz sucks, my week's gonna suck. It is what it is. I accept it. Hopefully he finds something. I think he does, but I'm telling you, because I'm taking a big stand. Like, these values that I'm on, they might end up being like some of my highest owned guys, and that's just how I'm rolling this week. But I have Hatton winning this. I like Russell Henley's been not been good at all in this format. I think Hatton cruises. I think he's a phenomenal play. I think he battles Rory in the next round, but I have Hatton winning this group. Locks, who do you have winning this group, the Hatton group?
I think it's a lot closer than we think it is. Just with one guy in here is where I'll be a little bit different. I think Ben Griffin has a chance to come out of here and shock everybody. I think he's the only one I would say to get in your pool. I mean, bogey avoidance, birdie or better percentage, and putting. Those are 3 huge things I look at in a match play type thing, and that's just huge to me. So I think he's the one. If you're going to get different here, I think he's the one I'm definitely interested in. I could see him upending this Hatton love and kind of getting us through the next round here possibly. So that's my thought there is Ben Griffin. But yeah, Hatton looks really good, so I can't X him out.
You know, I like that call. And actually looking back at my stuff, I believe I have him in my pool as well. So I'm glad you brought him up. The other 2 I'm definitely fading. I took a quick peek at my pool, definitely fading. Let's get to the last group. Let's go through our final 4, and then we'll talk about our winner, and we'll get out of here. The Rory group, where he gets to face Keegan. Now, one of you guys have to like Keegan's record. I mean, you guys are probably aware of this, but 1 win, 12 losses, 6 ties. I mean, Keegan Bradley, what are you doing? Then you got Denny McCarthy and Scott Stallings. Snyder, let's go to you. What are you doing with this group?
Yeah, Keegan was very, very hurtful for me when he shot like 80 in his second round to miss a cut a couple events ago. Definitely crossing him off. I'm going to cross off Scott Stallings. I'm going to be underweight on Rory if I do play him, but I think Denny is a guy that could clip him here. Like, Denny putts, he gets that putter roll, and I don't think he's going to be too scared. He won't back down from Rory or Keegan or Scott Stallings. I think Denny is my dark horse to make it out of this pod.
Yeah, I mean, I have Rory overpowering this group, but Denny, out of all of them, Denny's the one guy I'm a little worried about. But before I go into that, Locks, what are you doing with the Rory group? Oh, you're on mute. I mean, I'm impressed, guys. We've gone through every single group, and no one has done that. I mean, this is impressive. It's okay, Locks. It is definitely okay. It's been very impressive so far.
Man, I was on a roll there too to start out, and it's just really killed my flow. But no, Rory is a clear-cut choice here. I think it's pretty obvious what to do in this spot, but I'm going to be different too. I play for a win, man. You know, if you're not going to win, then what's the point of playing? To me. But I'm going to go Denny putts. I think he's going to figure out the putter. I mean, his approach game and ball striking has been there. It's been immaculate, really. He just can't make a putt in this last tournament that we watched or recently. So I think he's going to upend Rory here and just shock everybody. I'm going to be off of Rory. I think it might be a little Denny McCarthy, Ben Griffin action in the next round.
So for people like multi-entering, here's all right. So like my first take here is I think Rory overpowers this group. I think he crushes them.
Yep.
But when I looked at it a second time, I'm with you guys. Denny McCarthy, the ball striking has been there. It's always been his weak point of his game, and he's always been one of the best, if not the best, putters on tour. That can be demoralizing in this type of format, especially when you're going against Rory, who is struggling with this putter right now. We got the new putter narrative, right? Snyder, what's the putter that he has that he's switched back to?
Trying out Scotty Cameron Newport, I believe, today.
Yeah, I mean that has to be better than whatever he's been using. So little narrative there, but I think I'm gonna. All right, so like I love Rory. I think I have Rory coming out of this group, so different from you guys. I also have Rory beating Hatton in the next group, and I have it as Rory and either against Hogue or Rory Xander in kind of the Elite Eight there. But I am going to add in, I think I'm going to bring Denny back in MME formats. I like your points there. Denny, a value that if the putter gets going and if the ball, and then add that in with the ball striking, he could be sneaky. He could be like a sneaky Brian Harmon type, like Kiz when he gets going with the putter and stuff. That could definitely be Denny McCarthy. And I think you want those type of guys in your pool, especially if their value plays going up against the big dogs too. So we got through every single group. That's very impressive. Let's go to our final fours. Snyder, do you have your final four? Like, talk to us about your final four. What does it look like?
Yeah, I've got my bracket filled out right here. I've got Scotty the Kid. I've got Patrick Cantlay. I've got Will Zalatoris, and I've got Terrell Hatton in there. I've got two of the chalk there on the left side, and then I've got Zalatoris as a higher type seed there, escaping through there. I've got Cam Young versus Zalatoris there in the quarters, with Zalatoris going through, and then I've got Terrell Hatton upsetting, or not ups, or I guess he probably wouldn't upset if I got Denny through there, but upsetting Rory if need be there, and then I've got Zalatoris winning the whole thing with Cantlay finishing third.
I mean, Snyder, you're skipping
Blow
ahead.
the game.
I heard like 19 golfers. Like, so what was your final four? One more time. I'm making notes here. You guys are helping me find these winners. You got Scotty
versus Cantlay on the left side, and then they're going to be facing off against Zalatoris and Hatton from the right side.
I like that. Willie Z and then Hatton. I like that a lot. Locks, what about you? What does your final four look like? Oh, no, Locks. We're struggling now, my guy. We're struggling. We're struggling.
Man. All right. I'm trying to keep the screaming kids and everything out of here. But as we're looking in the final four, up top, I talked about Fleetwood versus Day. So that's my choice up there. I'm going to go Jason Day, making the final four.
Love it.
In that grouping there in the Scheffler region. Down in the Cantlay region, pretty easy to me. I'm going to have Cantlay going up against Hideki. I think Cantlay is going to take down Hideki and end his run. So I think it's going to be Day and Cantlay on that side. On the other side of things, where I'm kind of leaning is Ricky Fowler versus Zalatoris in that Elite Eight matchup there. I'm torn, man. I don't know what I want to do. If Ricky can make the final four,
go with one.
Yeah, I know. If Ricky can make the final four, he makes the Masters, I think, for sure. So he's got some extra motivation. I'm going Ricky Fowler to make it out of there for me. He's going to take down Zalatoris. And then if I'm looking at this bottom one, I'm still having troubles, but I'm going to go Ben Griffin here. I think he's coming out. It's going to be Flower versus Ben Griffin.
Wow, that's a dark horse. That's an absolute dark horse. So
mine there.
Is that he's been a profitable soldier as well. So I like that call.
Absolutely.
I got a rematch of I got to adjust this. So I was torn. I'm going back to where. So I got Scheffler in the top in the top bracket. I'm going back to Kevin Kisner. I think Kisner and Cantlay are going to battle, and I think Kisner's going to get it done. And then we're going to see a rematch between Kevin Kisner, Scotty Scheffler. Then I got the Rahm region for me is kind of tough just because of the upset I got there. I did not know, Lux, I did not know that he needed to get into the Final Four to make the Masters. I did not know that. I'm glad I do now because I have Ricky Flower in my Final Four winning the Rahm region. And then I got Rory. I might get dusted, but I got Rory coming out of the bottom region. So I think, one thing that I'm thinking of, and I'm thinking back to what our guy Kevin K. Fallick was talking about, with the live guys gone, this field is somewhat watered down. I do like the big guns here, the Schefflers, the Cantlays. And for me, it really is going to hinge on those value plays. I think it is very important this week. So, Snyder, who do you your final thoughts and who do you have winning?
Yeah.
Snyder, we had a good question. Can you comment about the wind real quick?
Yeah, I was kind of diving into the wind a little bit ago, a couple minutes ago. It looks like it's going to be pretty windy all weekend long, like all day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's going to be Sunday. It starts to finally go down a little bit towards the weekend, but man, these next 3 days.
Ricky's winning it all. Ricky in the wind, baby.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing like some of those Texas guys too, like Scotty, like Zalatoris, like those guys that are used to playing.
Our Kisner's not a Texas guy. Never mind. I'm just trying anything to like any narrative that's pro Kevin Kisner. I'm just like holding on to. Maybe that's a bad thing.
I think we see winds right around 15 sustained, and they're going to see gusts right around high 20s, low 30s here. So I think it will have some play on it in a few ways, but they're going to be going out relatively close tee times. I don't think there's going to be any huge wave advantages or nothing that I'm seeing right now. But I'm looking forward to this event. It's one of my favorite events of the year. But we're still going to have content up for the Punta Cana event also, which is going to tee off Thursday when it usually does. I'll have a smaller condensed playbook up for that as well. We'll have core plays for that as well. So make sure to check out that. I'll have that up probably later tonight. And then we've got AP's got the great main playbook for this event. Everything's detailed in there. That's for subscribers only. So make sure to head over and join the movement there. Use that promo code Snyder15 to get yourself 15% off. But my winner of this event, I bet him on the way home from Indiana yesterday. Will Zalatoris at 28-1. I think.
I like that. I like that, Ryan Miller.
I've got Zalatoris beating Scheffler. I love the price there at 28-1. Zalatoris got beat by Kevin Kisner last year to bring up Kisner's name again. I think Zalatoris is coming for blood this year. He's gonna.
All right, now I'm back on Willie Z. I mean, if he was battling with my boy Kiz, I got to get back on Willie Z.
He battled strong last year. But I like Zalatoris 28-1 to win, and then I've got Cantlay finishing third, and that third place matchup actually carries a lot of weight in DFS that people don't really know about or really consider there. But there's a lot of points being scored there that can swing different things. I think it was Big T had a pretty big swing there when he had the guy who finished third for him, I believe. Yeah,
very good points. Locks, who do you got winning this thing? And final thoughts?
Yeah, just to touch back on Fowler, so everybody knows he has to reach the quarterfinals. So he has to get to the Elite Eight in order to get into the Masters. So there's some motivation there. If he doesn't, then he has to win Valero in order to get into the Masters. So there's some motivation there. He's playing well. That's why I like him. In the finals, I'm actually going to have Cantlay beating Day. And then I'm going to have my boy Flower beating Ben Griffin. I'm going to have Patrick Cantlay taking home the cake of the match play tournament. I think Cantlay is going to take this thing down. Just doesn't make mistakes. He's steady Eddie. He gets the putter going. Look out. Just a guy that can go on a tear here in match play. So I like him winning this thing. He's going to take it down. Patrick Cantlay is my winner.
Yeah, very good. I mean, it's a boring take for a winner, but Scotty, I like the group. I like his potential matchups in the second round. I think he gets to the lead 8. I think he gets to the final 4. I just see him right there at the end. And we saw how he dominated this course. I mean, he was a beast. He just steamrolled over everyone. So it's a boring pick, but Scotty Scheffler, that's who I got. He's going to be one of my highest owned golfers. And that's where I got to make stands. I got to go rerun the numbers. That's why I have to fade Rahm. That's why, my real decision is Rory. I was very high on Rory, but with these wins, Rory's ball flight, like, the more I think about it, hits it so high. Like, he just hasn't been as good in the wind, and the putter hasn't been as good either. So, man, I thinking about it, I might have to get on Denny with you guys. I think that's the one thing I've taken from the show where it's like Denny can get it done in the wind. He's a good putter. I kind of like that call. So for me, I got Scheffler winning this thing. My final thoughts are: make sure you understand the rules. If you don't, get in Discord, hit me up, hit Snyder up, hit any of us up, and we can help you through it. Look at the playbook, read the content. I know Big T is going to have all of his stuff up. Core plays are going to be up. If you're not a member and you want to test us out, Snyder, Locks, you guys have codes. We got Snyder 15. We have Locks 15. It's going to get you 15% off over here at Run Pure Sports. That does include Saber Sim, our partners. There's the optimizers that we use. With that, guys, I mean, I'm excited. I love that we have an extra day to sweat. It makes, Wednesday NBAs are always a big day. I'm going to have the match plays up on my TVs. It's going to be a good time. But with that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. For Locks, for Snyder, I'm AP. Snyder, get us out of here.